Welcome back, farmers. Today is a pretty cool video. I was lucky enough to be sent a hydroponic system by Spider Farmer. So we're going to take a look at that today and all the features that it has. So I'm going to give an honest first look. I've used a few hydroponic systems before, and this one's looking pretty cool. So let's look into that, and I will be upfront with you guys on whether or not you should buy one. All right, guys, for starters, we have 12 slots for plants, so you can grow up to 12 plants in here. This system is great for growing really anything that you would grow outside. I mean, you could even do cucumbers and vining plants if you wanted to, but most of the time I stick with things like peppers, tomatoes, and lettuce because, you know, it's inside and you don't want it to take up too much space. But all 12 of these holes can be used for propagation or growing plants, and I think overall 12 is plenty, and most of the time you're not even going to use all of these holes. What we plan on doing with this one is just putting a pepper on each side and letting them grow that way, just so that way you can keep them short and bushy. But overall, 12 pods is fantastic. I've seen multiple with a lot more, but it didn't make sense because they were too close together. And then some of them don't have enough. So I think 12 is perfect for the size of this unit. And then moving down to the panel, which controls the whole unit, you have the power button that turns on the light and the pump. And then this is a really cool feature that I have never had on one of these systems. You can change how long you want the light to stay on. So for plants that don't need a whole lot of sunlight, you know, lettuce can do okay with 4 to 8 hours. And then you also have your 12 to 16 hour timer for things like peppers and tomatoes, and that'll really encourage that vegetative growth early on. And then your standard vegetation light, and then you also have your flower light for when your plants are ready to flower. One thing that I just noticed before filming the video, which I didn't realize, if you tap the button multiple times, it changes the brightness, which I have also never had on one of these units. So that's very exciting as well. And I don't know if I'm gonna keep it at lower lighting, but if you ever wanted to, you could. So on to the light. This is an LED light. I've never used a Spider Farmer grow light before, but Spider Farmer is known for their grow lights, and this one is just a little bit better than the ones I'm used to. So it's hard to tell the longevity because I just took it out of the box, and that's something that I'll update you along the way of growing stuff in this system. But overall, this light seems to be very nice, and the stand that it is on is also very cool. Another cool thing about this system is that this light stand can extend. So your plants, if they grow up as tall as the grow light here, no worries. You just slide it up, and I think it goes up to like 24 inches or something like that, 20 inches, which is also a lot higher than what I'm used to with these systems. Also, on the front here, we have a little water meter. It's really easy to tell where the water's at without one of these, but they include it anyways, and you're able to keep an eye on your water levels, which is, I think, really cool. So along with the unit itself, it includes quite a few accessories which you're gonna need to use to get started. They include sponges, which are overall pretty cheap, but I'm glad that they do, so you can use it right away. They also give you 2 bottles for your nutrients. Personally, I don't think I'm going to use these nutrients, but from what I understand, they're pretty standard nutrients. Pretty good amount of nitrogen in this one, and then your phosphorus and potassium is a little bit higher in this one for flowering. This one's going to be more for vegetative growth. And then they give you a few bags to mix the nutrients. And then along with that, they give you a little cover for this water hole over here where you fill up your unit. And they give you a dome for each one, so you can keep that humidity level nice for germination. And they give you what I believe is a pump in here. I haven't really put it together, but that is going to spray your roots. Overall, I think this is a really cool system. But there's one concern of mine, and it's these little holes right here. When you use a hydroponic system, you don't want sunlight to get into your reservoir, which is down in here. Your reservoir might be exposed to light with these holes, and I haven't really read the manual or anything like that because this is right out of the box, first impressions, and I could see these causing issues. So you might want to cover these up with aluminum foil. They might give you something to cover it up in the box. I haven't found it yet, but this could potentially be an issue if your unit allows light into the water. So if we take a look in the reservoir right here, it's pretty standard. We have our water pump right here, and I believe that white thing that came in the bag with the nutrients and everything is a little nozzle that you put on top there. So that'll spray the roots and keep everything growing hydroponically. But overall, it's just a standard reservoir. And then they also have a little plug here where you can pull that out and drain out all the water if you need to. So that is pretty cool as well. So one of the last features that I think is really cool and a great addition to one of these systems that I am not familiar with, and I'm glad that they updated it on theirs, is you can take the reservoir right off the stand, and that makes it a whole lot easier. With a lot of the different systems, you have to leave the reservoir on there and take it over and try and clean it out. With this, you take it out, you take the reservoir lid off, clean out the reservoir, and you're good to go. So that makes cleaning this thing super simple and easy. And overall, I'm just really excited to try it out. We're going to be growing a couple different pepper varieties here in it very soon. Probably some Chenins varieties that are going to take quite a while, and we're going to grow those over the winter and see how they do. So my overall impressions is I'm very impressed with this, and it's definitely a step up from anything I've ever used before. So I'm really excited to see how it works, and Spider Farmer seems to be a really great brand. I haven't worked with them too much. I haven't really used too many of their products, but this seems very promising, and I'll let you know if I am ever dissatisfied with it. So overall, I do think you could go out and get one of these and be very happy with it. The only issue is these little front holes, and maybe that's addressed somewhere and I'm just missing it. But that's just my honest review. They did send this to me, so take that as you will. But I can be completely honest with you. This system is a little bit nicer than any of the ones that I've ever used before. So if you're interested, I will have a link somewhere. I'm not sure yet. It might be in the description. It might be on my TikTok. But overall, if you want to go get one of these, you should and try it out. So that way, you're not just taking my word. You can try it yourself. So you can tell me what you think as well, and tell Spider Farmer what you think, because I think they would love to hear your feedback as well. So I think that'll be it for this video. I had a really fun time putting this together, and it was actually really funny because this has been sitting in a box for 3 weeks, and I thought it was just a regular grow light. And I was like, well, I can't really use the grow light quite yet. And for some reason, today's my birthday, so I decided to open something, and this is what was in the box. So I've had this system just chilling for about 3 weeks because I thought it was a grow light and I was gonna have to use it in a different way. But yeah, this is what we're working with. So if you haven't followed me on Instagram, do that. I say this in every video, but I have some very rare pepper seeds called the Kung Star White Thai pepper. And if you ever want the seeds, follow me on Instagram and I'll send you the P.O. box. And if you send me a self-addressed envelope, I will send you some seeds for free. Also, follow me on TikTok because I'm at 90.5K on TikTok. And I'd love to hit 100K by the end of the year. So if you're seeing this on YouTube, you're not following me on TikTok, please do that. Also, if you haven't subscribed, do that. I love making this content. I love when people are able to send me this stuff and I can tell you about it, because growing hydroponically is one of my favorite things. So if you subscribe, that'll help a lot. If you drop a like, that will also help a lot. So thanks for watching. I hope your plants are growing just as well as mine.